it seems every season, if you just took the time to dig a little bit deeper into the stats, like we tend to do here on this show, you could peel back like layers of an onion and find that, good centerpiece. And in the NFL, there are many players who it's not all that it seems, okay? It's not all that it seems. And I think Falcons cornerback AJ Terrell is not all that he seems. Some people might have Jalen Ramsey as one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Some people might have Stephon Gilmore up there, Jair Alexander. There's tons of great corners. But AJ Terrell could possibly be better than all of those guys in some metrics. And I believe you have the story on this one. But what I want to know is, Falcons fans, who is someone on your team? Who do you think is the most underrated player on the Atlanta Falcons this year? Comment below and let us know. But Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about this story of involving AJ Terrell?
Yeah, so Next Gen Stats broke down and did a breakdown of all the corners in the NFL, and they came up with the best. They ranked all the cover and ranked the corners in the NFL and decided, okay, who's the best cover corner in the NFL? And AJ Terrell came out on number one on that list. His pass rating allowed, just to give you some numbers here, pass rating allowed 49.9, catch rate allowed below expectation minus 14.6%. That's huge. Average yards of separation, only 2.7 yards. And targeted expected points added, minus 29.4, far and away the best in the NFL at his position. And you bring up a good point, right? Obviously, when it comes to corners, there's a lot of other names that come up. We hear about Diggs in Dallas, J.C. Jackson, formerly of the New England Patriots. You brought up Stephon Gilmore, Jair Alexander. There's a lot of guys that big names that, are kind of what people gravitate to as the top corners in the NFL. But I think we look at Terrell, and he really is jumping off the page here quietly as one of the better defenders in the NFL. I think the real problem with what the Falcons have with Terrell isn't Terrell. It's what defensive coordinator Dean Pease is doing with him. I look back and watched a number of Falcons games last season. I found that they kept Terrell mainly on the defensive left cornerback exclusively. No matter what personnel package or plays or schemes or formation that the offense came out in, Terrell always lined up at that left corner. So I look back, for example, the Miami Dolphins game. Jalen Waddle gave the Falcons some fits for part of the game. Instead of putting a guy like Terrell, an elite corner, as the stats indicate, on Waddle and kind of eliminating him or at least controlling him, they kept Terrell covering guys like Albert Wilson for the Dolphins and let Waddle just line up at the slot or other positions and take advantage of favorable matchups. I mean, when you have Dean, if getting critical of Dean Pease here a little bit, when you have a guy like Terrell, who by all means seems like an elite cover corner, they need to use him correctly and match him up against the team's best receiver, at least move him around so that way their defense can, take it to offenses a little bit. What do you think about this?
Yeah, and I have an extensive history with Dean Pease as a Ravens fan. He came into Baltimore in that Super Bowl season in 2012. He won the Super Bowl. But every year after that, I felt as if the defense got more and more stale. It just didn't really progress. Like you said, he's not using players in the way that they needed to be used. He lucked in, got that lucky Ravens Super Bowl run under his belt. I think kind of jump-started his career after that, helped him bounce around the league a little bit. 2017, he left, though. But now he's with the Falcons, and like you say, they underutilized Terrell. When you've got a guy, and I think of this, so obviously I'm going to relay this to the team that I like, okay? And this is how I see it. When I see Marlon Humphreys move around the field all the time and try to blanket a certain receiver, or at least the best receiver on the team, you see him in games when he goes up against DK Metcalf all game. He went up against OBJ on the Browns all the time. He was just on those guys all the time. That's when I feel like Humphreys was the most effective. And I think Terrell could be the same. You don't want to waste his talents. No offense to Albert Wilson, but on a guy like Albert Wilson, when you got Jalen Waddle on the other side of the ball, don't do that to yourself. You got to let this guy shine. He's an incredible coverage corner. And I think one of the things that why he gets knocked is, especially for corners, when you don't hear their name called, it's almost like an offensive lineman. When you don't hear their name, that's when they're doing the best. When there's no splash plays, people aren't throwing at them, no touchdowns allowed. It's because they're scared to throw over to their side of the field. That's what Reeves Island.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Terrell Revis because that's kind of the comparison. I look at Terrell, what Terrell could be, and what the Jets did, and what teams like the Patriots did that would later use Terrell Revis. They put him on key offensive players. This is what the Patriots and smart defensive teams have done for years. They take a quality defensive player, match him up against what a team does best offensively, and makes the offense play, as they say, left-handed, makes them do things they're not comfortable with. The Falcons have that guy in AJ Terrell. He can be a guy that can force offenses to, play out of their comfort zone, take away a team's best receiver, take away what a team likes to do best scheme-wise with his coverage ability. Terrell can be that guy. Dean Pease just has to use him correctly. If he can figure out, if he can get there, we can see a Falcons defense take big leaps in 2022.
Hey, Nick, you want to get some awesome NFL merch like this? If you want the best, most high-quality NFL merch that you get, go check out Ultra Game NFL, one of the NFL's top sellers on Amazon. They sell the most premium NFL merch money can buy. So if you want to check them out, where can we find them, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. Check them out in our description box below. We got all kinds of great affiliate links you can use that get you directly to Ultra Game NFL's store with all the greatest high quality merch for your team. Use these affiliate links. It's a big help to us for our channel at no extra cost to you. Check it out. Ultra Game NFL, the best gear you'll ever find.